Hello, this is 5-minute videos for the National Counseling Examination Review, and today we are going to go over Domain 1, Professional Practice Ethics Domain, and we are in subcategory N, which states establishing group rules, expectations, and termination criteria. So remember that with group, you want to be very mindful of which clients are appropriate for group. What does those criteria look like so that it can be cohesive and productive in your objectives with groups. Now, when you're doing groups, part of the first initial sessions is establishing group norms or group rules, as the subdomain states. You can go about it different ways. Some counselors like to put it to the client and have them establish rules and then nudging them on different rules that would be appropriate, such as, what is shared, respect, taking turns, depending on the age of the clients. Other counselors, they like to be more directive in their approaches and would like and they would just state what rules are expected. And again, it depends on the setting, as well as the age and the population that you're working with. The expectations, again, that's similar to the rules, because you want to set a criteria that is appropriate for group sharing and processing, as well as connecting with one another. I think one of the powers of group is that it provides the notion of bonding and identifying with similar experiences, even if they may not look the same or may have differences. If they're going through similar experiences, that can create a great deal of bonding and ultimately understanding, which is healing in and of itself. So that certainly is the power of group. But again, in order to get there, you have to set the ground rules, set the expectations, so that everyone understands them and abides by them for the safety of the group. And then finally, the subcategory states the termination criteria, and this is where you determine, if a client doesn't follow, what are going to be the consequences. And again, it depends on the setting, right? If you're in a school, if you're in criminal justice, if you're doing community work, that criteria might look different. So it really depends on the setting, the population. One thing that I would keep in mind as I'm studying for the NCE is, the whole notion of informed consent and informing them so that the client doesn't go back and say, oh, well, I was never informed of what was the termination criteria, and I already know I have boundary issues and this is making it worse. So the client can definitely accuse the counselor of neglect, if that isn't outlined and if there isn't concrete proof that those criterias were not only talked about but agreed upon. So many counselors, they might have the client do a contract of some sort and then have them sign it. So after going through the group norms, the expectations, and the termination criteria, a counselor might then put that in a paper copy and then have everyone sign that. So something to keep in mind when engaging in group or studying best norms for a group.